Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Trade Ideas live trading room for Tuesday, September the 22nd. My name is Barry Anderson, moderator of your trading room. Can I get a quick sound check, please? Excellent. Okay, what is happening today? Well, obviously, a lot of eyes are going to be on this one. Unfortunately, there are no shorts available at Interactive Brokers, for me anyway, for NNOX. So Muddy Waters has basically come out and slammed this company. I think they used the fraud word in their PR, kind of associated it with NKLA. And this is just getting creamed here, down 18%. But unfortunately, again, no shorts available for me for NNOX. So I'll have to wait and see what happens. And today is battery day, Tesla's big battery day. Not sure what's going to happen today with some of the EV stocks, but it is battery day. They've made a big deal about it. Let's see what happens. So, what other things are happening? Sava, a gap up. It's still holding, yeah, not too bad. Good volume. Looks like it's an insider buy of a 360,000 shares at $9, or 36,000 shares, excuse me, 36,000 shares at $9, about $324,000 that this insider has invested or bought. David's Tea, DTEA, big gap up for David's Tea. Look at that, 35%. It is an earnings play, released earnings after hours. And by the way, just to nice recovery by the SPY yesterday. I mean, it still finished down 500, but there was a nice little recovery of the SPY yesterday and a modest, holding those gains in a modest fashion. I mean, we're only at 0.34%, but let's see what happens today with the overall market, see if the SPY can kind of resume that little surge it had at the end of the day. GME still strong. This is now a nice gap up. Look at this gap up now for GME. Climbs 9% as RC Ventures boosts its stake in the company. Well, you're beating me to it there, real. Yeah, Boxel, BOXL, gapping up. $22 million investment by Lind. Educational stock. See what happens once the market opens. As always, I mean, there are lots of, I got up to 181. It's a pretty big pullback on a percentage basis so far. AIM, AIM yeah, it's starting to pull back though. So pancreatic cancer, positive results for their drug is a gap up for AIM, but it's definitely pulling back. Yeah, VCNX just getting kicked this morning. Look at this one, down almost 60%. Negative results, their drug. Actually got a little bit of a pop now, 180 to 223. That's a nice little percentage pop. Keep an eye on this one, VRM. Goldman has put an aggressive price target on them, $60. They've gone from a neutral to buy rating at Goldman, and that is VRM. Another SPAC, AMCI. AMCI. Now this is pulled, yeah, it was as high as 1152. It is pulled back down to 1060. Merger with a fuel cell tech company, non-binding agreement. So this is another one of those SPACs, AMCI. See if this one is holding. MYOV. I didn't see any specific reason for this gap up for MYOV. I thought it caught my eye a little bit just because of the daily. Blink, BLNK. This one seems to not be able to hold its gains. Well, actually, not bad. Not bad at all if it can hold this. Some news. 539 EV charging stations. There's a nice gap up though. Look at this on the daily chart. Getting rid of all this. And it is it's a relatively low float, 24 million in the float. More expensive one, man, what a huge gap up for CVNA. They basically provided Q3 guidance and things are going obviously extremely well. Look at this, 24% CVNA. Huge gap up. There's the all-time high up here around 235, I believe. So, that's a massive gap up for CVNA. This was in a downtrend. NAOV. I almost got into this one. I didn't quite get it though. I almost got into this one. I was waiting for a dollar break, but I didn't quite get it. Popped all the way up to $1.29. FDA authorization for some kind of a shield I've got, I guess, or I don't know what exactly what they do, but FDA authorization and to do with the virus. And keep an eye on CLSK. That had a tremendous run at the end of the day. CLSK, look at this run. It's pulled back somewhat. It's only down 2.8% though. See if it can keep going. Look at that monthly chart. Look at the daily chart. Look at the weekly chart. Look at all the room it still has. CLSK. All right, guys, I'm going to have to take off in about 3 minutes. I'll be back for the open. Let me see if I can quickly get... Just see if I can quickly get the upgrades and downgrades in. BLNK is still surging here. Well, like yesterday, we have a lot more upgrades and downgrades. Let me quickly get them in. I'm hearing NNOX continue is down. Boy, I wish I had shorts for that one. Hey, even Amazon's got an upgrade. All right, there are some of the upgrades. I'll get the downgrades in now. Not as many downgrades this morning. Okay, a couple of downgrades for ILMN. And let me just get this. So I'll be back at just around 6:30, or well, 9:30 when the market opens. Just give me a moment here. Okay, guys, so I'll be up for about 15 minutes. All right, guys, actually, I'm back right now. And I see, yeah, BLNK just in rippage mode here. So if you read the news about them, deployed 539 EV charging stations across how many states? What it was 50 states, or sorry, 24 states and 4 countries during the summer COVID-19 lockdown. So that is the big news for Blink BLNK. Yeah, so yeah, with the VRM, I know Real was just talking about the VRM. So, Goldman puts actually, it was not a conviction buy, it was just a buy, raising from neutral to buy with a $60 price target for Vroom. Now, if you're wondering, well, why isn't it 60 now? Well, it's just doesn't happen overnight. It may never happen. I mean, listen, they could put a $60 price target, but let's face it, Goldman is Obviously, it's an investment firm that people look at, and so when I see a Goldman upgrade or downgrade, I pay a little more attention to those than others. And again, it doesn't mean I'm going to buy it and hold it for 60. It's not what it means to me. It just means that certainly intraday, I mean, it's already had a nice little gap, good volume. Emily Squirrel, good morning to you. Hilarious. I love it. We have a multi-generational room now. It's official. All right, guys. Full and utter disclosure. I finally ended up taking this one, and I'm bound and determined to hold it for a while. I told you yesterday that I was looking to take this one in a pullback. It pulled back actually a lot more than I thought it would. And it kind of chopped around that 15 mark, but I ended up, taking this just before the market closed, that last 15 minutes. And so I'm in and around, I think it's around 15.20 for the iPop, full disclosure. But I'm looking to hold this one, if I can possibly hold it. It's hard for me though, I'm up 50 cents. Yeah, somebody in the YouTube channel is NAOV. It's I suppose you can call it an approval. It's not, I have FDA approval for NAOV. Authorization, that's what I call it, authorization. Might be just semantics. I'm not sure if authorization is the same as approval. Let me just read that press release again for NAOV. Almost took this one. I had a price alert set just over $1, and it just went too quickly. Yeah, so you're right. It is also U.S. Food and Drug, but FDA. I'm sorry. We're talking the same. So NAOV rallies 100% in reaction to the announcement that the FDA has decided to exercise its enforcement discretion to allow distribution of the EuroShield device in the United States. The device can use intended use code, etc., for use during the pandemic. Okay, so there is the news for, it's up 83%. At one point it was probably up almost 100%. It's all a matter of will it hold. All right, guys, so before, I want to bring back these two just in case something is sneaking in here. I don't know if it's related to Battery Day. Somebody's asking me if the Blink, Blink had news, specific news to it. So I don't know if you can say it's directly related to Battery Day. Oh boy, I'm not used to the web. Charts in the web. Is there nothing that says properties and then symbol linking? Okay, I was just going to go over this, okay? You want to watch my watch list up and down in the repeating version. If you click on, from the toolbar, click on New and Channel Bar and then My Watch List. Hurry up. Okay, a little lag on the website this morning to start. Barry's watch list right there. So click on that and you'll get these 3 windows. But remember, everything in here is a layout. Okay. So before you do that, it sounds like you've already done it, John W. But before anybody does this, make sure you save your layout to the cloud. You can only have one layout loaded at a time, and your layout will disappear, which again is okay as long as you have saved your layout to the cloud ahead of time. Nothing will happen in these 2 windows until at least 9:45. You'll start to see alerts here, probably right at the open. Okay, to add more charts. Okay, what time is it? 9:26. I'm going to quickly try to do it, Brad. Let's see if I can quickly do it. Okay, so here's the web. So new chart. So just click on new and chart, and a new chart should open. Well, it's not going to happen, Brad. I can tell you right now, it's not going to happen, but I'm going to give you this, what a lot of our Mac users do. You know, they'll use an emulation program like Parallels, and that includes a lot of people at Trade Ideas who have Macs. Or you can use Amazon Web Services or equivalent. That's the other. If you watch that, it's a blog that was done about a month, no, longer than a month, a couple of months ago, but it outlines basically what you can do. So anyway, new channel bar, or sorry, new chart. I believe you're limited to 5 charts in the web-based version. Again, I haven't used it for so long. All right, so the market is going to open in a little bit here. It's just seeing if anything else is sneaking in here. So our RMTI, I did see it. It's not a low float, 62 million in the float, lots of volume. Don't see a specific reason. I'm just trying to read some headlines here for RMTI. I don't see a specific reasons for its little gap up. Not in love with it. I think there's probably some resistance up here around 170-ish. You know, it's not a beautiful looking chart. I'd like to see a lot less froth on this area. More something that's more or less 45 degrees down. So you have a big, you know, possibility of filling a gap. Look, it still might happen, but I also don't see what the catalyst is. I don't see the specific reason for it. Okay, that probably is just, okay, let me try it one more time. What time is it now? Okay, I've got it less than a minute. Yeah, okay, so just right click on the chart and where it says properties, uncheck the symbol linking. Okay, just uncheck the symbol linking. Or if you want, okay, and the other way, I mean, if you want to change the symbol, I think it's just a matter of typing. Change symbol, okay, change symbol and just type. Here's Macy's, change it, there it is, okay? All right, everybody, market is now open. Let us have a great trading day. Sorry I had to rush through that, Brad. If it's still not working for you, you just have to give me a little bit, let the market settle down a little bit at the beginning. And oh, good. I'm glad that worked. Okay. Okay, so a ton of volume just came into NKLA. NKLA, a ton of volume. Look at this. I'm sure this will, well, super active again today. And as always, I will be connected to the simulator. And PEIX, look at this. Look at the move for PEIX. I kept this as a swing trade overnight. PEIX, look at this move. Already great volume. What an incredible, well, almost 3 months now this has had. Remember, this was 74 cents, 87 is 10 bagger right there. Zach living on the wild side, or walking on the wild side. Now, typically I don't trade in the first 15 minutes. Let things settle down a little bit. Well, I hope it works for you, Zach, but man, I wish I had some shorts for NNOX. On the move here. Now, is it taking out, let's see, what was the high a few days ago? 1856. Right at that high. Takes that out. Look out, guys. I mean, this is room on that daily chart. 2173-ish or so is the high. Let's call it 22 on that daily chart. And PIC, the other SPAC. Let's see, the high yesterday was, well, not the other SPAC, but the SPAC that was in the news on Friday, with their merger. Oh, you didn't know? You didn't know Muddy Waters was on it? Oh, you weren't listening to me then in the pre-market, Zach. Yeah, Muddy Waters is on that one, and basically, well, I'm pretty sure they used fraud in the press release, and kind of called it an NKLA equivalent. Okay, CLSK. Watch to see if it takes out yesterday's close. We're 9 cents away. CLSK, look at this move here. Let me take a look on this monthly chart to see what sort of room we have. Well, obviously way up here, but I'm just looking left to see what the next high in the monthly chart. Wow, we still have a lot of room for CLSK. Okay, GME putting in a new high. There's the pre-market high for GME. Pre-market high is around 11, just over 11 for GME. Now there was, I did read stuff about them. They talked about how, an analyst sees GameStop rivaling Amazon long term in terms of online e-commerce line, video games, related consumer products, etc., etc. That's what they're trying to do. Now there it goes, GME. Yeah, the quote was, "We don't want to go the way Blockbuster did." That was the quote from the CEO from regarding GME. Yeah, you're right. BLNK just became unshortable. Well, maybe not just became, but it is unshortable. Okay, one moment, please. Yes, Michael, there was a trade of the week, and it is, let me see if it's triggered. APT was the trade of the week. We had problems with the emails yesterday. They did not go out until maybe 2 hours after the market opened. It was a problem on our side. Anyway, the trade of the week is APT. Okay, APT is the trade of the week. It is not considered live unless it hits 15. So it's still underneath. Did not hit 15 yesterday. Okay, can you hear me, Michael? And the stop would be the rising 20 SMA on the daily chart. Okay, great. All right, Blink just became shortable. Not that I can do it now. You can. It's pretty cool the way this works. You know, I mean, if you have interactive brokers, and I'm sure other brokers too, of course. But it'll tell you if it's shortable immediately. And then at interactive brokers, when it's not shortable, that big bright green dot turns to a pale green one. But now, obviously, shorts are covering. So now there is about 1,000 shorts available. You can see because it was shortable, obviously the shorts piled in. Now they're covering. Now they're 53,000. So a lot of covering now. A lot of covering. Well, it's not on the screen. You have to have interactive brokers. I'm talking about within interactive brokers. If you have interactive brokers, it's obvious where it is. If you don't have interactive brokers, I don't know where, where your broker would have where the shorts are available and how many shorts. All right. So the market, PEIX. Guys, keep an eye on MVIS. Now, this is not a low float. It's a cheap one, but it is not a low float. 141 million in the float. This had a nice day yesterday, of course, and it still has a ton of room here. Look at that daily chart. I don't know if there's any specific news for it right now. Don't know if there was even news yesterday for it, but okay, there was news. When was the 17th? The 17th was after hours, so there was news on the 17th. But other, institutional shareholder services and Glass Lewis recommend that Microvision shareholders vote to approve the company proposal. So that was after hours on Thursday. And that is MVIS. Is PR Newswire? I'm not sure I know what you mean, PG. Is that a specific? I mean, I don't know. I can't tell you that. Okay, there's an NAOV, new high now. And it's got this is the one with the low float. Can it be? I'm honestly trying to hold on to this iPod. I'm in, as I said yesterday. Said I wanted to take it on the pullback. I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but in case you didn't hear, if you were in the room yesterday, I've been interested in this one as a swing trade. I wanted to take it on that pullback. I finally took it here just before the market closed. Well, this is the 15-minute candle. Got in around 15, 18, 19. Can I hold on? You know me. So there is the cross for GME right there. I know you were over on this earlier reel, but for those of you looking at the crosses, the ADMA cross down below 20 SMA at 1061. If you're just going to wait for the cross, oh man, don't go up so much. Honestly, don't know if I can do it, guys. Look at the volume that has come into NKLA. Look at the volume pouring into it. That was GME reel. I know you were talking about standard deviations and all, but right there, the ADMA crossed down right around 1061 on the 2-minute chart for GME. So if you were going to do what I know what you're doing, but if you were going to wait for a cross, which is really, there was a price cross at 1065, and then the EMA SMA cross at 1061, so not that far behind. All right, so let's see. Start getting some alerts in my watch list up or down. Again, I have a delay. I purposely put a delay on this until 9:45. Doesn't mean we'll get things right at 9:45, but we will not get any alerts until at least 9:45. Okay, GME, can you not see it? I have a 2-minute chart. There's the 8 EMA, that orange line. There's the 20 SMA, the blue line. So the cross is right there at 10:59, right there. Now, again, this takes into account pre-market activity, all right? But in conferring with Real yesterday, it seems to be close enough on our charts. Well, that I could not help you with, right? Is your computer plugged in? I'm not getting any data. Oops, forgot to bring this one in here. Okay, a little resiliency for Murphy Oil, MUR. Had a horrible day with a lot of stocks yesterday. I was looking at this. My bias, of course, was short. Look at that monthly chart. The support was around 550. But it's having a bounce like a lot of stocks. The only, let's see, here's quite a difference from yesterday. So healthcare, silver, so lightly down, healthcare. These are all some of the ETFs. Silver and gold, precious metals. And again, that top list, along with many other scans I share right here, scans, okay? Or click on the scans, the room drive icon, scans that I share. Sharing a lot of scans. That's what we try to be. Uplifting for sure. There's certainly not a lot of infighting. That is one thing you won't find here. Okay, just waiting for an alert. What is the market going to do now? Let's see. The market is, okay, putting a little bit of a downturn. Okay, so this should be obvious. You know, I kept this one as a swing overnight, but the minute this got up to about 851, no, I mean, if you're going to do this, I mean, you probably should have got out some. I'm going to flatten this right now. Okay, I'm just going to flatten it. And I'm going to demonstrate this later on. This is a great paper trader simulator. It uses our real-time data. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate this a little bit later. This module is part of our standard service. All you have to do is just click to or check simulated trading, connect to it. All right, well, after a little bit of, I remember I was saying, will it go positive? I don't think it got positive. And now look at CLSK. Quite the drop. It's a big drop, but $1.50. And the Dow went negative. You're absolutely right. The SPY is modestly positive. The NAS looks like it's going to turn also. All right, so we're getting some of the Levi actually. I think it's no, it's not an earnings play, but I have Levi on my. There it is. In fact, Levi right there. Thought I had it on my watch list. So weak. Remember, they did the IPO back here, but it is weak. It is now below yesterday's low. Looking left on that daily chart, the next low looking left actually is 1193. So we were right there. This could be an interesting short for Levi. The longer it holds under 12. APT is not above 15 that I can see. So I'm not sure where you're seeing that, Brian, unless you're asking the question. Okay, LAC is cascading downwards here. LAC might have some support, 856 or so on that daily chart. If not, look out below for LAC. Oh, yeah, no, okay, I answered him earlier, but thank you. I just didn't post it. I answered, he heard me. How can Citron be long CCL? You know, at some point these could turn in, you know, the cruisers and the airlines, they could turn into tremendous longer term holds. I just don't see it yet. Just think that there's just too much going on, too much uncertainty, in my opinion, of course, but all right, wow, look at WVE. I was actually looking at them as a potential. Look, I mean, look at the day it had yesterday. I mean, this was, if we're following WVE for the previous days, I mean, it had just a tremendous run. I think it was on my watch list several times. Potential swing trade. Then, like a lot of stocks, it just got kicked yesterday. 1985, the high, got down to 15. Trying to recover a little bit here. WVE. All right, so for Levi, I'm going to put an alert around that where it triggered, 1192. Now look at CLSK, just in fact, there's a cross way up here, missed that cross, 1452. Wow, what a great cross, CLSK right up here. Well, all I was doing is I was just looking to see if it would take out yesterday's close, and it looked like it was trying to, but it didn't, and then it just abruptly turned around, and there was the cross at 1448. Well, I mean, there was the cross for Mattel right there, MAT at 1170. So, I mean, yeah, if you'd seen it, okay, so yeah, AIM showed up on my watch list up, so at 240. So what sort of a room does this have? It's not beautiful. I mean, the daily chart, you have areas right around here, not that far away. I mean, if it can make its way through there, yeah, great. Maybe up to 3. It's not it's not an excessive float, 39 million in the float. Lots of volume came in. Yeah, the pre-market high was 295. Now, you know, there is a cross up around 233, I guess. Hard to see it right there. Around 233, the cross up. But the market is putting in a downturn here. That's starting to turn into maybe a troubling red candle, guys, if you're wanting this market to continue positive. So if you look at AIM, the next high looking left on the daily chart is around 255. Now I always think that 250, 50 cents for stocks under $5 can act as a bit of a psychological barrier, kind of like whole numbers act for all stocks. Yeah, Real was talking about Bed Bath and Beyond, triple BY, triple BY. Nice break here. Okay, you know, another, wow, ugly daily. I mean, look how ugly this daily chart is. You want to print this out? This is your definition of an ugly daily chart. Why is it ugly? Look at all the topping tails, bottoming tails on the daily chart. Totally directionless intraday. Now, who knows? Today might be the day, you know, but 1328 is the next 1313 is where it is. 1328 is the next high looking left for triple BY. Yeah, I do have it loaded, Dreamer. Yep. to know how dynamic Levi is going to be. But I have an alert set down here, 1192, and see what happens. This is another one that just had a tremendous run. TCS, Real's just mentioning this one, I'm sure, as a short, but look, a tremendous run. A couple of weeks ago, 370 stock, so not quite a double. Only one red candle on the daily chart. Well, it's it's right there, but I just don't know how dynamic it's going to be. But I mean, it showed up as a potential short from my watch list. Okay, so Mavis MVIS will show up here if it gets up to 224. There's the high. Gets up to 224, 225. It would actually trigger here. This could be interesting. It's a big float. Well, really, all that means is that you're not going to have a rocket ship or anything, but it might be a less tense of a trade. Okay, well, if we're looking at shorting this one, it's getting better for BBBY. So again, there's that high 1326, so it's above that high now. Let me back this out a little bit more and see what we've got going for us. Yeah, actually, so that's pretty good here. It's taking all this out so far. 1326, 1329 now. No AI alerts yet, no. Yeah, I just don't know how dynamic it's going to be. I could just pop between 12 and 1190 for a bit. Okay, there is your first. It's out of the price range. I like to trade the AI, but there is the first AI alert. Unit. I don't talk about it, Karen. If you don't have the premium service, it's just not fair to those who have the premium service. I only talk about them if they've, after the fact, if they've made a move, that I don't mind talking about it, but I just don't talk about them until that might happen. GME now under 10. So even if you waited on that break right there at 1061, I'm sure real got in earlier, but even on the cross, 1061 turning into a very nice short for GME. Meanwhile, unit, it's ugly also. 10 looks like there's a ton of resistance right around 10 for unit. So another AI alert, again, out of the price range that I like. So all right, so there's a little pullback, but still not the big drop yet for a BBBY. It was all set to maybe take this one. No cross on it, of course. I know what you're looking at, Real. I can see all those extended over at least 3 standard deviations on a lot of time frames for BBBY. Oh yeah, huge short float for Bed Bath and Beyond. I mean, they've been trying to reorganize, it seems, for years now, shutting down stores. What does that mean, 90%? I mean, I know what 90% means, but well, nice on your Nicola. Hard to believe. 90%. It's hard to believe. I'm going to answer for Real. No, okay. He's also looking at channels and things like that, okay. I will answer for him. Yeah, guys, just set your alert for 15 on the app, APT, if you're going to get involved in this trade of the week. So all three AI alerts out of the price range that I like to trade. I like to trade the ones that are 20 and under. Well, Blink is still strong. Yeah, there have been shorts taking from in IB. The last time I looked, there were about 50,000 shorts available. Now there are 16,000, so there are short sellers taking this one in IB anyway, and probably elsewhere. Listen, you have to. The email said it is considered live at 15. Okay, now how you're going to trade it is up to you. That's all the email said. It's live at if it takes out 15, it's considered live. You know, whether you want to take it is completely up to you. Just remember, your stop is going to be the rising 20 SMA on the daily chart. So for instance, right now, so that blue line right there is the SMA. That blue line, 20 SMA, so it's at 13 right now. So, you know, it'll start to run up. Well, look, unit is challenging that 10. Yeah, I see Visto also. Oh no, that's a perfectly good question, off topic. For me, I have nothing that I can refer you to, but there could be other traders in the room. So Julio was asking a question about swing trading. You might even want to put that in the swing trading tab. We have a swing trading tab. The reason I can't really help, I'm not a huge swing trader, so I really don't have anything to offer on that. All right, now BBBY is turning down a little bit here. This might get interesting if it takes out 1320 on the short side right there. That first little pullback popped. It takes this out right there. This could get interesting. I don't know how much room it's going to have. Big float. You know, because even if it takes that out, you're probably looking at 13 as a potential support for it. So I'm just going to set the price alert at 13.20 and see if it happens. All right, so if you did take Blink at 9.40, the price at 9.40, there's that green, there's the blue arrow, there was the alert. You know, not a bad little move from 9.40 to 9.80. I don't think the aim really, yeah, the aim went from 240 up to 250, so nothing fantastic. Boy, CLSK is definitely getting weaker and weaker here. It tried, it got just above yesterday's high, and they just stopped. All right, so keep an eye on LAC here. It actually looks like there's the 20 SMA dropping. The 8 EMA looks like it's sort of flattened out, but if it curls upwards and it crosses above, that becomes a potential long trade. The market is not, it's not moving down, so bounce plays like this could work. So keep an eye on LAC. Looks like the cross could happen, if it happens, around 906 or so, LAC. Thank you, PJ, for answering Jolio. This looks like wow, it's very close. Come on, you little lovely swing trade. Now, William, you are not allowed to short IPOB, okay? Yeah. IMAX, yes, I'm hearing IMAX ringing in my ear here. Just out of curiosity, did anybody take that iPod yesterday? As I was mentioning, wanting to take it on that big pullback. Man. Let's refresh my memory on this one now. So last week the high got up to 1810. Watching Bed Bath & Beyond, BBBY, maybe on a 1320 break. I don't know how much we'll get out of it though. Oh, excellent, Brad. I'm glad to hear that. Blonder tongue. Got to be the craziest name of a. Sure, there's a reason for it, but. Yeah, a lot of volume coming into it. And I know it's shortable. Okay, now BDR is showing up here. It wouldn't show up until it hit 1. My price range is minimum of $1 in this window and here also. Well, looking left. Next time looking left is $1.22 right here. It's a low float, 3.3 million in the float. So they did actually have some news. Our news hit. Let's see, is it here too? Granted, U.S. patent number 10,785,829, title Enterprise Content Gateway. So that is their news. And they basically hit right here. Well, that's the theory behind any one of the SPACs, Mario. I mean, that's the theory. Now, whether I wait, until the actual merger happens, a lot can happen between then and now, or now and then. Boy, CLSK continues down. Yeah, BDR is halted. What is it stacking up at? Don't really see a big jump yet. Okay, so BBBY. Yeah, I mean, it's risky, super risky, Mario. I mean, all these, the merger may fall apart. I mean, a lot of things that can happen. But we've seen a lot of success in the other SPACs. It doesn't absolutely mean this was going to. Wow, look at Unit. I was certainly wrong about Unit. Well, briefly anyway. I'm sorry. I thought that said 1025. It says 1005. Yeah, IMAX does continue here. There was a cross right there. If you could have seen it at 1306 for IMAX on the 5-minute chart. And one down here, how close? 1283. It depends how you define soon. I doubt very much anything until at least November, if we have one. There may not be one though this year, or for the balance of the year. All right, Cardiff running down, guys. Cardiff has been running down for a while. It, now it's not below yesterday's low. CRDF I'm talking about. But this was a super high flyer. Oh man, what do I do? If it is 1650, I'm going to have to take some off. I don't care. Should check. I don't think they have specific news today. All right, GME. Okay, BDR just opened. Let's see what happened. Not much yet. All right, guys, it's almost 10:30, so this is typically when I make my grand announcements. The first one is welcome to the trading room if you're new to the trading room. This is the format Monday to Friday between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I share my screen and I'm live on the mic. If you are a Trade Ideas subscriber, I am sharing a lot of scans. If you click on the scans tab, and if you're watching me on the YouTube feed, when you logged in, you'll see a lot of links, and these are all the scans. If you're in the trading room, this trading room right here, here are all the scans that I am sharing. You can also access them from the room drive icon. Scans that I share, download. That'll take you to a Word document. Then you can take a look at them at your leisure. If you see something you might like to look at, all you have to do is copy the link and file, load from cloud, and the link will be here, and then just load it. Okay, now as always, if you do load one of my links, you can always adjust it. So let's just say, for argument's sake, you loaded the basic new highs and lows. You right click, you click on configure, and you'll see the filters that I'm using. You may have a different idea about a price range you want to follow, or a current volume, or a minimum number of shares. Where are you? Okay, so of course you can make changes. And so one of two things: if you don't make any changes, remember, save the window, and you want to have it. Save the window to the cloud. My recommendation is you save each individual scans to the cloud. Okay, so then because you never know, you may not, like I have a lot. You see all the scans that I share. You know, I don't have them all up and running right now, but from time to time I take a look at one that I haven't had up and running. Take a look to see what sort of alerts it's getting, and I go, yeah, kind of like that one. So I may bring it back from the cloud and incorporate it as part of my layout. So it's a good idea always to save individual scans to the cloud as well as your overall layout. Well, I looked at this I put this 2 minute chart back, or not back, for the first time because of these crosses. You know, Real got me excited about looking at crosses on Friday on the 2 minute chart. So I decided I would, you know, for a while anyway, I will monitor it. And the crosses I'm talking about, the 80 MA crossing the 20 SMA. All right, if you want to take out a subscription to Trade Ideas and join all this fun, I'm going to put the link into the room. All right, so you'll see there is the promo code, Barry for Alpha, 15% off the first month only, or the entire year. If you click on my homepage link, though, you'll see I have some other good links there, including the subscription link. So if you click on my homepage link, and there it is, there's the code, 15% off the first month. So if you click on Get Trade Ideas, so the biggest plan is the annual premium, $22.68 a year minus that 15%, or the standard, $10.68 a year minus the 15%. The big difference between premium and standard is the AI. That is the reason if you're going to take our premium service, it's because you want to have access to the AI. There are some other differences, but that is the main difference, okay? I'm going to go over the AI in a bit. You don't have to start off with an annual plan. You can always start off with a monthly plan. Standard monthly standard monthly 118 a month minus the 15%, or the premium 228 less the 15%. You can always upgrade. If you do upgrade, we'll honor the 15% promo code, upgrading either from standard to premium or from a monthly plan to an annual plan. I have some other links. Trade of the week is sent to you before the market opens every Monday morning. It may have triggered. I just noticed APT right there. Let's take a look. Yeah, so it is live. Now, whether you take the trade right now or not, it's completely up to you, but it is considered live at $15. And that gets sent to your inbox typically about 20 minutes to 30 minutes, maybe even an hour before the market opens every Monday morning. We had a little glitch yesterday, but that shouldn't happen next Monday. I do a recap of what's happened in the room. I usually do that around 1:05. You can sign up for that right there. We have a lot of good, I'm going to copy the 20 short lessons link. Lots of good training right here. If you click on that link, the 20 lessons in 20 days. Going over some of the basic features of trade ideas. So, what is a top list, building one, alert window, building one. Even if you're not a subscriber, you can see some of the basic features that we have. The daily support sessions from 12 to 1 in the YouTube feed. So from 9 to 12, I moderate the YouTube feed. Then one of the other trainers / traders takes over from 12 to 1. They are more into swing trading than I am. Here's the training room link, of course. Daily webinars, we have them at 5 o'clock, Mondays to Thursdays at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. You can sign up for them all right here. And then many more educational videos right here. So that link has a lot of good education. I want to put in the 20 lessons in 20 days as a separate link. Because again, if you're new to trade ideas, I really would encourage you to at least look at that. They're not videos, they're just very short text-based lessons. All right. So again, it's up to you. I mean, the trade of the week is now considered live. It did finally break over 15, so it's now considered live. All right, now I do want to talk about the AI. See what's happening. Yeah, just out of the price range, we've got 3 alerts, modest so far. So this is what the AI is all about. We have what we call 50 baseline strategies, and they get once the market closes, the AI gets to work on an optimization routine for those 50 baseline strategies. Once that routine is over, you were then presented with the strategies that made the cut. So that is what happened last night after the market closed. And these are the strategies that made the cut out of the 50. Making the cut typically a profit factor of 2 and a win percentage of at least 60. Okay, so these are the ones that made the cut. If you have the AI, this is how I would use it or watch it. From the toolbar, I would click on New, and then where it says AI/Holly Strategy Trades Window, the Trades window. If you do that, this is the window that you'll get, and it'll show you there's a real-time entry that gets triggered. You don't have to take the trade right away. You can watch to see how it's trading a bit, and you have a stop price. And then it's basically up to you to manage your trades. Take the ones you want and manage the trades. The trade of the week is APT, yes. Live at $15. Okay, I do want to talk about Brokerage Plus right now. This is the Brokerage Plus window. To access it, first of all, you have to be using the app. It will not work. We don't have it available in the web-based version. Click on New, Brokerage Plus. Here's your Brokerage Plus window. You can use it one of 2 ways. If you have an interactive broker's account, you can connect to it, and then you can trade from within Trade Ideas. You can set up your own trading strategies. What I want to do is to put a link in which basically shows you exactly how you can do all that. It's about a 27-minute video. Well, if you do it at the beginning of the week, you can save the 3 windows and then incorporate them as part of your layout, okay? But, I do reserve the right to make changes to the filters, so, that could happen. So your best bet is to load it every morning, just in case. All right. So I just popped in the Brokerage Plus intro. So watch that video. If you are interested in using this Brokerage Plus to trade using your interactive broker's account, then please watch that video. It explains virtually everything you have to know. The second big use of Brokerage Plus is if you are new to trading. So I say this every day. I would encourage you, before you commit money to the market, to practice. The simulator uses our real-time data. So it doesn't matter what brokerage account you have, uses our real-time data. Okay, and it's very simple to use. Once you load the Brokerage Plus window, then you just click on or check simulated trading. You'll notice that when I click on an alert, the symbol shows up. You can pick how many shares you want to trade. You can pick the price you want to go in at. If you are shorting, you sell. If you're going long, you buy. So let's take one, just to show you how easy it is to do it. Boy, Bed Bath & Beyond, super strong. Super strong. Look at the volume, it just came in. So I'll take this trade. I mean, this is not something I would normally do. You know, it's extended on a bit of extension and all, but just to show you how you can do it. So we'll take a couple hundred shares of Bed Bath & Beyond. The spread is a penny, so I can go in at the market. So I just click, there it is, went in at $13.59. At this point, now you should always have a stop. Put a stop down here, you know, looking at the chart, $13.29. And you're going to see that stop appears right on the chart. So if the price goes down to $13.29 and I allow this to run in auto fashion, then it's going to take me out for a $60 loss. I can put a target if I want. Let's put a target of 14. Again, I'm just demoing this, and you will see the target shows up. It's hard to see, but on this daily chart, I've got so many lines here from previous things that I've done with BBBY, but you can just you can just see it here, 82. There's the line right up there at 14. Now these lines can be moved. So if the trade starts working well, you can use this like a trailing stop. You can just keep moving the stop to wherever you want. Put it in an area on the chart that makes sense. You know, if there's a support level on the chart and it broke down below it, maybe that's where you should get out. Same with the target. If it starts approaching the target, you don't have to let it take you out at the target. You know, you can start moving your target up. You don't have to use the chart to do all this. Of course, if you want to get out whatever number of shares you want to get out, you can just type it in right here. Pick the price you want to get out at. These are hotkeys. So if you highlight the trade, you can flatten to get out of the trade. You can get out of half your trade, or you can double your trade. So please, I mean, this is very, very easy simulator to use. You can also use it for swing trading. If you don't close out a trade at the end of the day, it will carry forward for as long as you want it to. All right, guys, I had to do it. I had to take some out at 16.50. My swing trade of IPOB. I had to do it. Psychologically, I had to do it. The news that happened last week, it looked pretty interesting to me, this news. I mean, that was the gap. It also, you know, it wasn't exorbitantly priced, I thought. And I did trade this one, not as a swing. I did trade around, but then as it kept pulling back and back and back, I kept getting more interested in it. You know, I have not really participated. I mean, I've seen, you know, look, I've seen these other ones, kicking myself a little bit on the graph. If GK is in the room, you know, I did trade this one. You know, I think back in these days here, but I did not hold on. So I thought, you know what? I got to try one. I got to try one. It's that simple. Well, we call it in custom computer programming. That's where ZM is. The trade of the week is APT. APT. It was live at 15. Okay, so now, it's up to you. So did you hear I'm just looking at my single stock window. We have it categorized in custom computer programming. And that's for Drora. All right. So yeah, looking at the AI, nothing appeals to me just because it's out of the price range I like to trade. WPRT. I'm just going to flatten this, okay? I'm going to flatten that BBBY trade, just to show you how you can do it. A couple of columns I like to have is the max P&L and the distance from the exit price. So the max P&L tells me that when I was in this trade, still, the maximum I could have got out of this trade was $34. That would have been, of course, taking it at 13.59 and selling right at the very top, okay? That's what that's telling me. What I did get out of it was 15. I mean, again, this is just demoing it. So, of course, what you'd like to see that number as close to that number as possible. That's showing you that, your exit was pretty good. The other number I like is the distance from the exit price. So notice here that since I got out of, this was a swing from yesterday, PEIX. Since I got out of it, it is 12 cents below where I got out, which is a good thing, obviously. I mean, that means that, well, okay, my exit seems to have been pretty good at this point. This one right there is telling me, well, where I got out, it is now 8 cents above. So obviously you don't want this to be so, like, what does that say? $2. That would not be a great exit. So I like to, I would encourage you to, have these two windows open also. So you can kind of gauge how good your exits are. Now, we don't, you're never going to be able to exit right at the, the absolute top. Yeah, FULC. This was on my watch list because I had a long bias on it. I was hoping maybe the market really rallied today. It would take out yesterday's high around 9 and then look at the potential. So I'm not that interested in this one. You know, it's 774. Looks like there's a lot of support. Yeah, I mean, I see what you saw there. I mean, there's a cross starting on the 5 minute chart. There was the cross on the 1526. You know, well, you know me though. I always look at that 15, the whole number, as being maybe something that's going to hold it up. So just not, you know, had I got it right there and scalped it down to 15, sure. Okay, so these are not my thoughts, John. This is what Steve, who constructs the trade of the week, a rising 20 SMA is your stop. Okay, so there's that 20 SMA. That's that blue line right there. So you can see right there it's 13.99 and it's starting to, you know, assuming this trade starts to work well, this will start to curl up. So that's your stop. If you don't have the 20 SMA on the trade ideas chart, you should put it there on the daily if you want to follow where the stop is. Rising 20 SMA, yes. Now those are his thoughts, okay? Those are not my thoughts. Not that I would not that I would have a different thought, okay? But I'm just saying that that's what the email said. Now you can see that if it can take this out right here, 1561. I mean, there are 3 days. It looks like right around there. 1559, 1559, 1560. So you can see right there, if APT can get through that area, whoops, it's a little higher. Through that area here, then it has a shot to keep going. But it may, you know, momentarily struggle through here. And it may, you know, listen, it may stop completely. All right, JKS from yesterday had a huge run up. It's a little bit under yesterday's close, but it's trying to recover a bit. Well, just as I was speaking about APT, look at what it did. It just took this out. Briefly. Let's see if it has any real conviction to take this out. Now listen, if you got in around 15, I mean, you know, it's up to you to manage these trades. Yeah, market is starting to pull back a little bit here. So the Dow is still a little bit negative. The SPY and NAS are just barely positive. All right, guys. All right, KTOS, ringing in my ear here. KTOS on the way down also. There's a cross right there, 1871. I figure out a way to see these as they happen. Okay, guys, with this little downturn, I've taken a short on the best. I did it. I knew I would do it on the Bed Bath and Beyond. It hasn't quite, but I'm using the other way that Rio gets into these is on a little break of the 2-minute. Now you don't have to do the same thing, 2-minute SMA or EMA, but it looks like it is going to start to even get the curl. So I'm in that one at, what is it, 1364. Obviously a stop no more than 1379, but it'll be earlier than that. Again, these are not recommendations, all right? Now, I got right back up to where I shorted it. I just put it up in the announcement, short sale BBBY 1364. Sono. Look what's happening with Sono. Wow, Sono. My goodness, this has got a tremendous amount of room too. What's the volume like? Great volume. It's a big float, 103 million in the float, but it is a great volume. Look at the volume that's coming into Sono. Sono. I know you're kidding. Okay, it actually does look like the cross is, well, not quite on the 2 minute chart. Not quite for BBBY. Who is defending Peloton? PTON. I mean, everybody got a little bit anxious, I think, when Microsoft Apple came out with some kind of an app that was supposed to just crush Peloton. Well, not so much. Not yet, anyway. This was earnings. That day was earnings. Boy, Kratos, however you pronounce it, is just getting whacked here. Straight down. Look at this on that daily chart. Here's the 200-day moving average. Maybe that'll help it, but it's still about $1 away from it. Yeah, all the indices are down now. The NAS and SPY were just a little bit positive. Dow was down anyway, but now they're sort of, as you're suggesting, as they're speaking, the market is moving down. So this might help shorting these tops a little bit. This doesn't move pretty quickly. I'm just going to get out of this trade. I mean, listen, my fantasy down here would be 1330, okay, in that area right there. That looks like pretty good support. Not saying it's going to get there, but that would be the area. Same looking at that 5-minute chart. That looks like pretty decent support for it, 1330. FAS, man, I haven't looked at FAS and FAS. A long time ago, I used to trade these. Okay, so at this point, my stop will be certainly no more than where I shorted it. Yeah, that's what I'm looking. That's what I'm seeing too. Real looks like that cross is. AIM is still pretty strong. A little bit choppy, but you know, it's pretty strong. Still has room. The high in the pre-market. The high in the pre-market was 295, so it still has a little bit of room if it wants to attack that pre-market high. I wouldn't expect it's going to get much higher. I mean, there's a lot. Looks like there's a lot of resistance up here around 3. And there was now we have an official cross. The official cross was right around 1357 for BBBY. Okay, H-lit, what are you doing? H-lit, look at the volume coming into this one. H-lit. But this could be ripe for a short if there are shorts available. Look at the 200-day moving average right there, 616. Well, too late. Shoot, too late. William, did you hop on that one? The H or Emily? I'm gonna have to tell Emily or William. Did you hop on that one? The H-lit. How come? What? She can't answer? Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, well, real. Let's see, what do we got there? 1343. Yeah, so I've just covered some underneath 1350. Didn't get quite at the 1344, but so I've just covered some of the BBBY. 1349. Yeah, that 1350 may be holding this BBBY. As Real says, we'll see. All right, BSGM in mini collapse mode here. 817 down to 750. Big percentage drop. KTOS continues down. Breaking down through that whole number now. There, BSGM continues down. Look at this. What a drop now for BSGM. They actually had some news. 1056. It's expanded the ongoing phase 2 trial from 40 to 80. No, I'm trying to read through this, but evidently not the greatest of news for BSGM. If you read the release that came out at 10:15, not really any reaction until now. Okay, I'm all out of the BBBY. May look at a reshort, but BSGM getting just slapped here. BSGM, look at this. I was trying to interpret that news, but that news came out around 10:15 and really nothing happened. And this is maybe a delayed reaction. I'm sorry, that came out at 10:56. Sorry, 10:55. So really no reaction until now. So, real, have you done any study on, have you been able to analyze it like that? So in other words, a stock that's down that has a pull up and then crosses versus a stock that is, looks, extended, we'll call it, and then crosses. I think I know what your answer is going to be, but I'm just wondering if you had the ability. Yeah, okay. So even though the majority of the crosses that we seem to be taking are stocks that are, in trend is up, they seem to be working better as opposed to a stock that is, I haven't seen too many, to be honest. I haven't really seen too many stocks that have been down that have had a little pull up and then the cross. Now, again, when you say in trend, are you talking about a daily trend? I just haven't seen very many crosses with stocks that are down that have popped up and then crossed down. Okay, so John, on our charts, this is what we are talking about. Wow, this is just getting slammed, BSGM. Excuse me. Looks like it is, yes. I don't know. Yeah, it is an IPO. Or, now is this one of these SPACs? It looks like this is a SPAC also. Boy, BSGM is, I mean, this is just devastating for this one. Okay, so John, this is what we are talking about. So on the trade ideas charts, you can put an 8 EMA and a 20 SMA, okay? And that orange line there, it might be hard to see, but that orange line there is the EMA. Let me do BBBY. Okay, this is easier, probably a little easier to see. So you see that orange line there, that is the 8 EMA, and the blue line is the 20 SMA. So what we're talking about is if the 8 EMA crosses below the 20 SMA, that is setting up a potential short situation. Okay, well, you can put them on your charts. You know, just add the indicators. You know, just add them. Add the 8 EMA. You can add an EMA and an SMA and EMA. You should, if you're not familiar, exponential moving average, you might want to go to Wikipedia or Investopedia or something like that. But we're talking exponential moving average and then a simple moving average. You don't even have to. I mean, you just have to, you know, add them to your charts. And then, you know, when you see a cross, oh, okay. Well, real uses the 8 EMA. Yeah, you want to use the 9 and the 20 SMA. And then we're just able to visualize these crosses. Yeah, I do know a lot of people use the 9 EMA. Doesn't matter the time frame. You know, the 2 minute time frame will catch them earlier. They may not be as what's the word I want? See, now it's starting to move down again. The lower the time frame, the more aggressive, you know, maybe you can be, because this is it might be a little early. That's all. Look at the 5. You see the 5. It's almost curling. Now look at BBBY. Now, too bad I'm out of it, but it's okay. So this, you know, the 2 minute would be an aggressive entry. The 5 minute would be a less aggressive. The 15 would be even more so. But obviously, you know, you're catching it earlier on the 2 than the 5 than the 15, but more risk. Yep, the same reverse to trigger along. Yes. Now, the other thing that Real will do, which is what I did actually on the BBBY, is he doesn't actually sometimes wait for the cross. He waits for the price to break down below the 8 EMA. Again, that's even more aggressive. But if you wanted to wait for the actual break, but you can see the break right there was at 1366. The actual cross was at 56 or so. So it's a dime away. I have it loaded. I don't. I mean, I have the 8 EMA and the 20 SMA on TV. Um, it wasn't automatic. I mean, I just loaded them as EMAs and SMAs. And the reason I did it is I really did want to see how close the crosses were that we have versus, TradingView, and they're virtually bang on. What I don't have is the line plotted at the cross location. I'm just eyeballing it. Whose script is it, if you don't mind my asking? Okay, thanks. But you see, if you're going to be true to this, as Real says, I mean, there was the cross right there at 1357. Okay, so once the price got above that, the theory being is that there's your stop, because this could have kept moving. You have to have a stop. So I mean, I got out before that. Now I guess there's something to be said for retaking the short if you wanted to here, but. The interesting thing will be to see where will it cross on the 5-minute chart, if it does. Boy, what a fast morning. Yeah, ACB, I didn't really see it in the pre-market at all. I know it had earnings I'm sorry, it has earnings after hours today, okay? Yeah, and that one I can't help you, John. I have no idea. You might want to ask Real. I have no idea. Because I think he's using TOS also for his charting. But I have no idea. Yeah, so he's asking though, he's got adaptive EMA, displaced EMA. I'm just not familiar with all the different types of EMAs. Yeah, well, you see right there. Now, the other thing too, remember, Real is trading, okay? So if he doesn't answer you right away, don't take offense. And that's just not to you, John, but to anybody. He's doing this out of the goodness of his heart. Well, yeah, the bets are being somewhat placed ahead of earnings. ACB. I did see they had an upgrade yesterday. I can't remember who it was. I also saw though that Tilray had an upgrade yesterday. I don't know what it's doing. Yeah, man, oh man. I mean, it's up a little bit, but thank you, Real. All right, Clean Spark, CLSK may be trying to rebound here. Right here, look at this nice little base here at 1312 or so. So it is looks like it's trying. I mean, it had a tremendous day yesterday. Two tremendous days. Well, one great day, one tremendous day yesterday, and it looked like it was going to be off to the races again before it pulled back. Well, I remember the day it hit 300 almost. And so what's the market doing? So we had the little downturn there for 30 minutes, maybe a little pause so far. Yeah, nice base here. Look at that base, 1517 on the 2 minute, even on the yeah, nice. Excuse me, pop for APT. Okay, guys, sorry, just checking some emails, seeing if I can help out. Okay, how silly is it? Yeah, that's pretty silly. Unbelievable. Truly unbelievable. I mean, it's almost put a double in. Well, it's put in a double from August, about a month ago, a little over a month ago, even at $236. Boy, remember, I mean, it was dead here. When all the hacking allegations came in, that was it. That was it for Zoom, guys. Zoom was dead. Security was terrible. Remember? And then you've got Vroom, which this is the big Goldman upgrade today. So yeah, it's not bad. I mean, they've upgraded it to $60 VRM. All right, now let's take a look at Bed Bath & Beyond on the 5-minute. And there it is. So there's the cross on the 5-minute at 43.50, sorry, 40, well, it's hard. I don't know if it's officially crossed. Very close, 43, around 1346 or so. Sometimes the candles get in the way. I guess I guess if I load that thing from TradingView, it would have a definitive line. So you can interpret this a couple of ways here. So a little bit early on the cross, it did not, keep going down on the 2-minute. If you wait for the 5, you're going to, you're not going to, I mean, look, if the 2-minute had kept going down, obviously at 1358 would have been awesome, but you've got to respect his stop because you don't know. I mean, this could have just kept moving higher. Or you wait for the 5-minute, a little more safe, and see what happens. So this was the area, this was kind of the area I was thinking, man, if we could get down there, 1322. Again, I'm not in this anymore, but 1322, if you're still in this, it looks like there could be a little bit of support right there on that 5-minute chart. Oh, now keep an eye on KNL. Now, what's the volume like? Not great volume. But look at KNL. Look at this daily chart. A couple of great days. I think home builders were, no, I'm sorry, this was the wood office. That was part of the MLHR sector. A couple of great days. But now giving it up. So 1245 or 1231. The body, 1245 is the low. Let's see what it does underneath 13 for KNL. Just not a lot of volume. All right, guys, I am biding my time right now. I don't have haven't heard an alert for a while. Now look at this one though. Stay. I don't know why we. Uh-oh! Don't tell me we're losing our. Okay, what happened with stay? Okay, so there's the 200-day moving average, 1160 for stay. It is just taking it out now. 1160, so it was right there, was holding, and now it is now below the 200-day moving average. Stay, STAY. Looks like there could be some support around 1125-ish. Looking to see if there's any specific news for Sono. I'll see it. Boy, hardly any earnings plays. Just see a couple of David's T, which has done absolutely nothing, like other than really fade. Had a big pop. I mean, this was a big pop percentage-wise for DTEA after hours yesterday. That's that mauve area. And then market opens and it's just been drifting down. Not shortable for me anyway, so. Yeah, Stitch, and also Nike, NKE. I think Nike is, Nike is after hours, so that's obviously a huge one. NKE. We're getting closer. At the risk of incurring Grumpy's wrath, AA is October 14th. So about 3 weeks from now, we'll be really at the beginning of the next earnings season. One moment, please. All right. Again, not very many alerts for me right now. Watch list has kind of been nothing really exciting today. Yeah, I say the blink 940 did get up to 983, so that's not bad. AIM 240 got up to 270. I mean, not bad. I mean, pretty good percentage moves. But what I'm more looking for are things that are more sustained. KNL under 13. Yeah, just you need a lot more volume. ADAP 863. Yeah, it's doing nothing. 819. Yeah, it's just too spotty. And Levi. Yeah, Levi really, not too exciting either. So really, my watch list not producing that much today. Bunch of nonsense with BDR. Look at that, high of 126. Just fading right back down underneath a dollar. All right, guys, so I will be taking off in about 10 minutes or so for a break. I do want to put the YouTube link in through the room in case you do want to go to the YouTube feed at noon. Somebody, I'm not sure who it is today. See, Sean was yesterday. I'm pretty sure it'll be Steve today. So I'll just put the link into the room, the YouTube, and say at noon. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Steve Gomez. He and Andy actually are responsible for this week's Trade of the Week. Ah, okay. Steve just answered me. So Andy will actually be on. Andy will be on today. So you can ask Andy, who again, co-creator of this week's Trade of the Week, APT. You can ask him all sorts of questions. How he came up with it. Those guys are way more into swing trading than I am. All right, guys, as I say, my alerts have kind of dried up, not getting too many new ones. All right, I'm just going to check some of the alerts or some of the stocks that I have on my watch list that have not triggered today. See if there's anything kind of interesting happening. Yeah, this TFF or TFFP made the watch list because, look at this move here. Of course, this was yesterday was an all-time high. So I put it on the watch list to see if it would have any sort of continuation. It has pulled back somewhat, not huge, but this is the TFFP. I'm not sure if this was an IPO or no. This was a symbol name change back here, I believe, for TFFP. Can't remember what it was called before, but pretty sure this is a symbol name change. So again, okay, you're in the swing trading. So I don't know if somebody will answer you in terms of the options, whether you should buy WKHS options. Certainly not myself. All right, now guys, listen, on the BBBY, there's actually, looks like a cross is starting to form on the way up. Okay, so this to me, this looks like it could be over because you can see that 8 EMA, there's the orange line. It looks like it might actually cross above the 2 minute, 20 SMA in the 2 minute. So this has not been, overly smooth. bottom line, it could turn into a long play now. And again, this FULC, it made my watch list. Not as a potential short, but looking to see if it could take out. I mean, yesterday's high around 897. I mean, look at the room FULC has. It just didn't do it today. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick a price alert. I doubt very much it's going to happen today, but I want to stick a price alert for FULC just underneath 9 and see if at some point it takes it out. Whether it's, again, I doubt very much it'll be today. It may never happen, but if it does take it out, within the next few days, I mean, look at the room FULC has. So if you're looking for potential swings, I mean, this is, if I were more into swing trading, this is the sort of stuff that I would love. Tons of room. It just has to break out of here. All right, well, there is the cross, guys, on the 2-minute, 1344 for BBBY. I'm not taking it. I'm just alerting you to it, but there is the cross. I'm not taking, well, one reason I'm not taking it is because it's close to my break. Also, I find that there's probably, little pockets of resistance on the way up here. It won't be smooth, in my opinion, so try to look for something a little cleaner. I mean, this could work spectacularly well, but I just want to look for something a little more clean. Yeah, that is triple BY, BBBY, Bed Bath & Beyond. If you look at the 2-minute chart, you see there's the cross. There's the ADMA crossing above the 20 SMA on the 2-minute chart, right at 1344. But again, it's just little areas of resistance all over the place. I don't know. I just don't know how dynamic it will be. If it was a lower float, maybe, but 118 million in the float, so it's going to take a bunch to move it still. It's a tremendous day. 3 times normal. Really? F. F. Let me see if I even loaded it. Are you sure? I'm just looking at my order entry in IB where I have my last few symbols that I loaded. I don't see a stock starting with the letter F. FM. Okay, the one I said I love. Oh, yes. FULC. No, I don't love it. I love the potential pattern, okay? So it's not that I love this stock, just to confirm what I was saying before, is that this was on my watch list for hopefully for a break. You see what it did yesterday. Hopefully for a break of that level, depending on what the overall market was going to do. But if they broke this level over 8, I mean, then just look left. Look how much room there is. So it's not that I love this specific stock. I like the pattern that it could have potentially happened if it had broken through, just because it has a ton of room. But it just didn't happen. So what I did was I put a price alert just underneath 9, and to see, if it takes it out, maybe sometime this week. What are we, Tuesday? Yeah, sometime this week. It may never happen. But if it does, I mean, just look at the room it's got. So low float also, 13 million in the float. So if it ever got going, now we always have to remember there was a reason for this. I mean, so this is not that long ago. What are we talking about? Well, it seems like ancient times now, but August the 11th. So, 6 weeks ago, something happened. I can't remember what it was, but there was a huge down catalyst, continued on, and it hasn't really recovered. So, I mean, for all the reasons it did this, they're probably still in force. Just a moment, please. You mean when would I decide to take the trade? It wouldn't happen unless I got a break up here of 9. But it doesn't mean just because it would break 9, I would take the trade. Okay, it just means that I want to see if it does take this, and then check the pattern to see, okay, what pattern is it doing? What is the pattern on that break? I don't want to take something just going straight up. I'm not going to chase it, but at least I'll be alerted if it happens. I mean, it may not happen. Okay, but I've put a price alert. Now I can just forget about it. I don't have to, I'm not even going to think about it anymore. Just put a price alert here, and if it happens, it happens. And then I can check the pattern to see, okay, it took that out. What was the pattern it was taking it out on? Hello, Mike. Well, things are a little moribund right now. There's just really, I'm looking at some of these alerts, and they're just sort of stuck at the alert price. MIK, Michaels. Let's see. Well, okay, now this is what I see. If you're not in it now, if you're in it earlier, maybe, but what I see is a lot of resistance on that daily chart to get through. Not that far away. All right, I'm just going to put my announcement in. Andy should be showing up in the YouTube feed pretty soon. So I'm just going to put my announcement in that I'll be taking my break. Well, I always like to term it like this. The bets are being placed, guys, for ACB has earnings after hours. So it's up 10%, earnings after hours. I did notice it had an upgrade yesterday. Can't remember from who, but does have. Oh, okay, there's Andy. So Andy is in the YouTube feed. Thank you, Andy. I'll stop my feed right now and I'll take my break now.
Hey, Mike C, what's happening, buddy? Yeah, it looks like I'm online now. Something is definitely wrong with my OBS. Every time my computer is just working fine, and every time I fire up the streaming, it just goes bonkers. So something is wrong. Yeah, we'll see, Steve. It's doing the same thing again, though. Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Jeez. Yeah, but I'm probably gonna lose it, Michael. It keeps jumping up to like 2,500 ms. My latency, it's just I don't know. I'm gonna start this. We'll see how long it lasts because I know it's struggling. Yeah, yeah, Mike, you're right. I just got through doing a one-on-one that was pretty lengthy. But yeah, hopefully this works. And then what I'll do next time is I'll re-download this OBS. There's got to be some settings or something in there that's throwing me off. All right, guys, take a look at the market real quick and just let me know if you're seeing any issues like right now. Spiders are working on a potential nice bar reversal here. Not very much follow through this morning, but kind of regaining its upward momentum here and getting above the 10 period moving average. We'll see if maybe this is a short term bottom coming up here. Yeah, yeah, and I'm pretty certain. Yeah, it's this app because everything was, and I've done one-on-ones. I was doing go to assist, and I think no issues at all in my one-on-one. And as soon as I fired this up, it starts to grind. So I don't know. I got to figure it out. But getting back to the trade of the week, I hope some of you guys took that. Where there's been some great calls lately, and yeah, you can see my system here. Gosh, dang it. Apt trying to go back to new highs. Really pleased with the way my Neo is holding up. One that I've been kind of accumulating size back in. Kind of setting that same formation up that it did over here. A nice little flag pattern. See which way it resolves itself. Now, or can you guys hear me? Jamie just said that streaming's offline. Can you hear me? Okay, okay. All right, Sean, thank you. All right, Chris says, how much more life in app do you expect? Well, apt, of course, a lot depends on the market. The market holds up, I think we could expect a lot more. I mean, I could definitely see it going up here and attacking this very important pivot level. It kind of got through this, trying. He's working with this right now. You can see if I put that line right there, it's kind of bumping up against this resistance going back to late August. But if we can get through there, I think we may have a date that you can see with a profit target on our little short-term trading algo kind of figures out for you with a smart stop there. So yeah, I can definitely think 1622 would be in the cards possibly for today maybe, but I wouldn't say that's all there is to it. You don't know what to expect. I let the market and the price action dictate what to expect, but I wouldn't be surprised maybe if it can venture up and test this 50 period right there, which would be a nice percentage gain from 15. This stock was, well, we won't count. That's kind of an anomaly right there all the way to 40, but you can see still up around 25 just a couple of months ago. I like the strong revenue growth. Okay, strong revenue growth, and look at this. One of the reasons we picked it for trade of the week. A nice cash position versus your current debt. Strong revenue growth, actually making money. Like and really the daily chart right here, looking for a bottoming out process. Found it, and then came back to this 10-period moving average right there. Little scare yesterday with the market like it was, but boy, nice rebound today for sure. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Okay, Dave. Yes, we'll talk about it then. Let me see if I can change setting over here. Output. Yes, I will share my layout. I'll attempt to anyway. Let's see, I think I have it here. me try something here. Yeah, really. Yeah, really, Mike. See, I need to go to Morse code. Uh, let's see, Hussam. When I change strategies in the message tab in B plus, all historical entries tend to disappear. Uh, let's see here. Message tabs. When you change it to historical entries, okay, where are you changing it in the message tab? Hussam, can you send that to info? Send it to our email and drop some images in there so I can see what you're talking about. I Yeah, I would just leave it on. Uh, well, if it disappears, you probably just nothing in, no messages for whatever you're trying to do. I would just leave it on all sources, and that way you'll get all any message that's sent would come in all sources. I've never played around with that to try to. Uh, yeah, I'm not sure. That's something that I never mess with. Try to switch to any alert received. Yeah, I did that, and I got the my alerts. Oh, probably what it's doing is probably just going to give you the most recent. So from whatever strategy it is, it's probably just going to give you the most recent. I don't know. I haven't. I'd have to play around with this. I'm not sure. I've never just kept it on this and looked to see if things are disappearing. Uh, if I go back to all sources, the list is shortened. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, send that to info. This is something I never played around with it. See if you can get a screenshot of uh, maybe one where you have all of them in there, and then get the screenshot of the ones after they disappeared. That will give the guys something to work on. Okay, looks like, knock on wood, everything is up to speed now. I'm not sure what's going on, but thanks, Usam. Appreciate it. Yeah, you're right. It may be limited on those messages. I don't know. Uh, our servers just there's so many people, using this that they may limit the amount of data that come through on the message tab. And there goes app to new highs. And we jacked back up here again. And app come into extreme volume high-low pro now. Nice one, Steve. It's apt to go higher. See if the spies can hold on to this fast line now and build up some momentum and maybe have a decent move here today. Shoot.